So good morning, everybody, and welcome again here at the GCCM in Miami. And we're going to talk about the wholesale industry in a data-hungry age. So all the challenges and opportunities we see, we might grab. Let's see what we do. And first of all, I would like to welcome the audience here. Thank you for coming. And I'll hope that the things we share with each other, that it will be of your benefit. And if you want to talk to these guys here on the panel, they will introduce themselves in a minute. You can come to them, and they're around here at the Congress. So you're most welcome. So if I may start with on my left, so that would be fantastic. Maybe, Reader, if you would like to start, tell us who you are, who you work for, give us the scoop.
Good morning. My name is Dmitry. I'm actually managing Latin American LANCK on the west side. So I'll be sharing my expertise in this part of our business, of course, and I'll try to speak about the other topics for sure. Thanks for having me here today. Thanks for respected audience. So let's kick off.
Okay, thank you so much, Jeremy.
So I'm Jeremy Villalobos, the Chief Operating Officer for Orcas Technology. We formerly known as Gold Connect. We recently rebranded the company, so I'm excited to be here. Love the topic and good to share with everyone here.
Okay, thank you so much. And again, congratulations with Orcas. And as we all know, I mean, there's the GCCM magazine, and if I may show you guys, that's Jeremy. So he's in there. Read it, have a look at it, and watch our portal, please. So, Francesco, please welcome.
Francisco Somiliana, thank you. I'm a senior sales director at iBasis. I manage the sales team for Americas for all the products. So I'm not in the magazine, but thank you for inviting me.
Maybe, but
maybe next time.
Maybe next time. So, to all of my three panelists, a warm welcome to you, and again to the audience for being here. Thank you. So let's move into it. I mean, we're talking about the wholesale industry in a data-hungry age and all the challenges and opportunities. So, Jeremy, if I may start with you, if you allow me, the current wholesale landscape. I mean, what is digital transformation? What are we talking about? What's out there? And enlighten us a little bit from your side.
So I believe we're experiencing an exciting time where companies are being forced to transform their business. And I say forced because it's been too long where the companies have been still embracing legacy systems. You know, a lot of, I will say the business practices within the organizations have remained for so long the same, you know, and I will include ourselves too, because I believe we got into a comfort zone where things were working out for us, you know, but now we're in a position where clients are pushing the envelopes and they're asking for a better experience, you know, better business processes. You know, I always say this, you know, because I still don't understand it, you know, that you can buy so many things through the internet, and the actual internet, you don't buy it through the internet. Mm-hmm. So that means, you know, that I expect to see a lot of automation adoption, you know, the creation of new technologies, the use of existing technologies like big data, artificial intelligence, to help the different business processes to be more efficient. So I believe it's very exciting what is happening. You know, a lot of companies, critical companies, are putting the eye on the automation, because at the end of the day, it's not about removing the human interaction. It's about making that interaction efficient, and automation and different technologies play a key role to make that happen. Also, blockchain is coming up very hot. You know, there are a lot of practices that you can pull from blockchain, like contracts, smart contracts, SLA enforcements. A lot of things that are done manually we're gonna be able to do it automatically. So the actual organization can focus on the real role. You know, instead of doing administrative work, they can actually focus on their actual role. You know, engineering, sales. You know, 48% of the salespeople spend time just putting opportunities on a CRM. That shouldn't be the case. Mm-hmm. So
that can be improved. So, Dimitri, from your point of view, from LANCK point of view, kick off. How do you see the wholesale landscape, and what does and how did the digital transformation impacted it from your point of view?
Well, good question, actually, and I agree with Jeremy. We see the interest in transforming the industry because we just passed the COVID time, and it was the hard time for everyone in industry, but we saw the different services being developed, and now we, of course, see descending volumes of retail voice, but a lot of messages. This market is growing tremendously. So, but unfortunately, for sure, growing the fraud on the voice side and the SMS. But still, this is opportunity, because every crisis is opportunity. Just need to see the opportunity, and that's it. And basically, that's why we're here. We're just to share the opinions about the topic, right?
Exactly. Thank you so much, Francesco. What has iBasis? What's the iBasis view on the current wholesale market, and how did the digital transformation kick in at iBasis, but also from your vision actually to the market?
Yeah, so we have voice, mobile services with value-added services, SMS, firewall, cloud communications. The traditional, it's in there, but we're seeing new trends, new demands, new niche of partners, new threats, and new technologies. And for us, it's adapting to it. New technologies are two words: cloudification and virtualization. I'll mention these two words later today, but yes, it's about that.
Okay, Jeremy. Talking about the digital transformation, automation, being more efficient. How does it actually impact the carrier model actually in the wholesale? Because by the end of the day, you and your company, you're quite disruptive actually in the market, and you're leaving actually the if I may say so, let's say the old school incumbents far behind you. Actually, you accelerated this, I know, especially over the last 2 years. You did an amazing job, and congrats on that one. But how does it, in general, let's say, the digital transformation impact the carrier business model, or how should it have an impact on it?
That's a great topic, and it's basically what I was mentioning before. You got companies in our industry that some of them are 50 years old. You're talking about companies that have survived a continuous evolution, and in the last, I will say, 10 to 5 years, the evolution of technology has sped up significantly more than in the last 30 years. So that rhythm is cutting up to many of the big carriers, carriers with thousands of employees. When I say thousands, 20,000 employees, big companies. And when you have the challenge of resolving scalability, because you have to scale your business, you're talking about data centers dedicated for a network infrastructure, and today there's so many different ways to have that same thing in a much efficient manner, with different technologies. But when you talk about migrating all those systems into the new, possibilities, let's say like that, it's a huge challenge. I don't blame them. I wouldn't want to.
It's not easy. It's not easy.
Yeah, I don't want to be in their place for sure. For us, it's easy to say, that we are fully. I will say, I always call ourselves the new generation in the telco world. Because we were lucky to redesign our company and build it up as it should be, from the beginning. But for these companies, that they have been, walking the walk, and then, you out of the sudden you have to reinvent yourself. It's a big challenge. So I believe the digital transformation, because digital transformation can be seen in different ways. The offer, your offer to your clients.
Okay.
How disruptive are the solutions that you offer to them, but then you have to also digitally transform your business on the inside. So yes, we have been doing a good job offering cloud solutions, SASE, SD-WAN, so many products that are evolving the network. But on the inside, we keep doing legacy. Our customers are waiting 120 days for services to be installed. And
Yep.
that's on the data side.
Mhm.
I don't know about the voice and the SMS, that's a
Mhm.
different world on my end, but on the data side, you have customers waiting that time frame that they're saying this doesn't work for me. So the companies that are able to reach that demand and that expectations, you have network as a service now, there are different methods of commercial models that are being offered to the clients that are definitely changing the scope. So those that are not able to keep up, they're just going to fall behind, and I want to see what's going to happen, because I don't know what's going to happen, but we're in a breaking point, I believe.
Okay, but do you think that let's say that they will catch up, or they will catch up, let's say, in a slower pace than guys like you who can, from scratch could start off and kick off even faster, being more agile, of course, being smaller, of course.
I believe they can, but it is a huge commitment. You have to commit to that vision, you have to commit to that business purpose, and you have to execute it with no doubts. If you do that, I believe it can be done.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay. Listening to the Christmas music in the background. And so Francesco, do you see the digital transformation having an impact on the business model?
Yeah, definitely. Yes. And I agree with what Jeremy said. I think today it provides us with a lot of opportunities at iBasis to offer services, value with private networks slicing, but also enabling us to offer cloud-based solutions outside of the wholesale traditional one for security, value-added services, analyticals. Companies has to adapt, and we need to guide them by offering what we are seeing as a solution for a demand that they don't see yet.
Okay, Dimitri, from the voice side, what do you see around you on changing, let's say, the carrier business models? Does digital transformation have an impact? Do you see it in your own company, or do you see it, let's say, around you?
Absolutely, and in my humble opinion, it's absolutely necessity to every company to transform right away, because there is AI to come to every aspect of our work, actually. And we see it, for example, on the anti-fraud products. If before, like it was okay to just to analyze the CDRs, now, without AI, it's difficult to prevent the sophisticated type of frauds. And now we educated the AI to catch SMS fraud as well. We launched some pilot product with some customers to do it. And for sure, on traditional voice side, we, for example, it's not related to digital transformation, but on my side, I see, for example, operators now looking for call center traffic as well to substitute the insufficient retail. So if before it was like something which no one wanted, now it's like a kind of, well, we're talking about the normal call center, of course. Yes, it's necessity, and it should be done for sure for every company. Absolutely.
Okay, thank you. Okay, one of the pillars or one of the drivers is actually technology. I mean, you mentioned this already, Jeremy. And but how and in what way? I mean, the current technologies, what are the constraints you see? But also what are the opportunities that it could bring us?
So I think an important aspect of embracing new technologies is to try them out. If we don't try them and we don't test it within our businesses, we don't understand the possibilities that we can accomplish with them. And the perfect example is blockchain. Right now, we're working on pilots for SLA enforcement, where we're using a blockchain network. We're working on publishing NNI, within multiple carriers, interacting within the blockchain. And those are pilots to understand the possibilities, You know, some things are not going to work, some things are going to work, but important thing is that we are getting involved and getting uncomfortable with different technologies. For the LATAM Connect platform that we created, we not only gather data, because at the end of the day, it's about how you manage your data. We carriers were full of data, any kind of data, network data, customer data, so much data that can be used.
Huge asset, huge
asset. And if we treat that data correctly with the different technologies that we have available out there, you know, like big data, artificial intelligence, you know, we were able to find a way to do technical feasibility analysis on the last miles in Latin America. That's a huge challenge for the Latin American region. And it was 4 years of getting uncomfortable, trying different technologies.
Invest a lot.
Yeah, hitting walls. But finally, we were able to find the right solution for a specific purpose. So I think carriers on their own business, they need to try different technology. They should have labs, you know, and because one of the worst things that you can do is to get comfortable. You know, you see your clients coming in, they're buying, you know, your revenues are going up, your EBITDA looks great, but you know, that's a
perfect
short
world.
term. Yeah,
perfect world.
That's a short term, and we're living in a moment where evolution is getting a fast pace, and it's going to be about who is at the top. You know, we even changed our name. You know, we were called Gold Connect. And we realize we not only connect, we orchestrate with our clients. And orchestration is just more than connecting a client. It's about monitoring their services. It's about, you know, supporting them with hardware. It's basically an orchestra that you have in front of you where you're managing so many things at the same time that it goes beyond just connecting. So it's very interesting what is happening, but I will say that the most important thing is to try so many technology that is out there. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. You know, there are so many things, and sometimes you're gonna have to reinvent the wheel. You know, but it's important to continually try and test new technologies.
Okay, Francisco, what do you see? What are the constraints of the let's say of the new technologies, or should we just pass it and learn with it and move on and adapt them and what are the opportunities then?
And adapt them, definitely. But I think there is an issue where you have not flexibility in terms of location. You have to pay licenses per node, per location. There are a lot of things massive that is not allowing you to experiment with products and deliver the solutions that your partners are looking for.
That's constraint.
Yeah, exactly. So I think at the end of the day, cloudification again and virtualization with the private networks, with the network slicing is something that the companies like iBasis needs to do, because you bring a solution that is adaptable, scalable, on demand, and cheap.
Okay, cool. Fair enough. On your side, Dimitri, where do you see the constraints and then possible opportunities from the new technologies?
Perfect words being said. Nowadays, it's absolutely necessity to offer a lot of services. Actually, you know, the wholesale providers are not just.
But that's not always easy,
providers.
you know,
Yes,
to come up with the
course,
new services and to, you know.
But we need to evaluate for sure. Evaluate to die. That's the point. Service providers now are not just, you know, like offering voice. We should offer SMS, anti-fraud solutions, cloud solutions, probably. Anything the client really wants. So that's the future.
Okay, and where do you see it? Let's say going a step further with the technologies and the new technologies actually and adapting them, because I think we are all in agreement that needs to be done. Taking it a step further on the service portfolios, from your point of view, what can we expect there? What's there to come from the services point of view?
I would say, for example, we think RCS has a good future. We invest on it. We have some products for enterprise customers for RCS. We have eSIMs actually, so we are growing our mobile operations. We try to make things better in marketing, mobile marketing, new partners, new offices, new networks to join. So a lot of things to do actually for us.
Okay, Jeremy. I mean, quickly, maybe in detail from Orchest, services you're going to roll out because of the new technologies.
Sure. So we haven't rolled it out, but I'm gonna just say,
Give us a scoop, man. Give us the scoop.
We're gonna be the first company doing on-demand connectivity in Latin America between the data centers.
Say again.
On-demand connectivity between the data centers.
Wow.
You turn it on, you turn it off, and it's gonna be within the region. You see that companies like DC Connect, Console Connect are doing it all around the world, but in Latin America, you don't have one carrier that is actively interconnecting most of the data centers in the region. So that's one of the things that we're going to be rolling out in January, and also Cloud Connect, purchased directly through the platform in Latin America. So what you're seeing all around the world, we're bringing that technology into LATAM and opening the possibilities. We're also working with MEF on the Integrated Trust Network, which is a blockchain network where car manufacturers, insurance companies, and telco providers are, collaborating with each other for identity verification. So it's going to be an interesting network for IoT. So exciting things for next year. We're focusing in the Latin American region because that region is behind, and we're trying to bring all the different possibilities that you're seeing all around the world to LATAM and help the region, grow and enable clients to have the same level of attention.
Okay. Thank you. Francesco, where do you see, let's say, from my basis, by adapting the new technologies, what is the impact on your service portfolio, and what can, let's say, we in the wholesale, because by the end of the day, we buy and sell from each other. That's what we do.
Yeah, we need to deliver quality and be price competitive, right? So in order to do that, first, the network, we need to adapt it, virtualization, because we want to scale, but we want to be cost effective, of course. And I think that is something that is key today in our market. And in terms of our portfolio for customers, everything in every product, voice related with anti-fraud solutions, information stored in the cloud. For our roaming services as well, everything is cloud-based solution value-added services because it's easy, we can manage it, we can handle it. It's for the customer, they don't require to install equipment in premises, so it's easier and cheaper. So all of our portfolio of products are being driven by this technology embracement at the end of the day. So everything is being adapted towards that.
Okay. On the cloud, I mean, you're managing, mentioning that, it's cheap. They can, they don't have to buy anything, you just take some partitioning or whatever in the cloud. But is that the answer? I mean, because not everybody will be happy with it.
It's the answer for us at the end of the day, because if we want to be competitive and deliver, we see demands. And based on what we see, the solutions that we bring and the solutions that we are bringing are based in this, that yes, I agree. But maybe with 5G, that I know it's a topic that is coming later.
Now,
yeah,
I was bridging it to 5G. That's why my question came
because 5G network slicing is going to be massive. It's going to be, let's say, where we're going to be seeing the private networks main increase, where the MNOs, the system integrators, at the end of the day, will be selling networks or products or services or network as a service in a wholesale matter. What is open in a completely new scope for everyone. So even they can sell, and we're talking about MNOs that we may say that they won't be happy, but they will, because at the end of the day, they will be wholesaling virtual parts of the network. So I think that is what is coming. And if someone doesn't want to look at it as something positive, well, I think they have to adapt, or they will be forced to be adapting to it.
Sooner or later.
Yeah.
They will come. Okay, thank you. Now, Jeremy, I mean, he mentioned already, Francisco already mentioned let's say the 5G, and but impact he sees, well, what it will have on the on customers, but also on your service portfolio. From your end, how will 5G, let's say, impact your business or enhance it maybe?
Well, 5G is a little bit behind in Latin America. You know, we're seeing how it behaves on different other regions like the United States, Europe, Asia, you know, how it develops. And then you always see Latin America watching the behaviors of other regions and having reducing that learning curve by implementing what it works on other regions. I don't see much deployment of 5G in Latin America. Sometimes you see even 3G.
Yeah. Oh, sure.
So, but I don't want to speculate on how it's going to behave or how is it going to transform our business because it's so early for the Latin American region. You know, it's not the case on other regions, but it can definitely be an option of transformation of the way or how our final offer to the clients. You know, today is about a different network, you know, and 5G can completely disrupt that business model that has been there for so long. So we're definitely paying attention to it. We are reading about it. We are evaluating how it progresses on other regions. Because we definitely want to be at the front row when it comes to Latin America.
Because I can understand that, I mean, 5G could be complementary for, let's say, the connectivity with regards to implementing in the SD-WAN, for instance, not only for, let's say, have on a fast implementation, you know, already. So the service can be delivered faster to the customer, but also on the back end of it, you know, if we talk about disaster recovery, especially on SD-WAN, I mean, it could be there because latency is an issue, especially on SD-WAN. And I mean, even that SD-WAN can run quite good on 4G, but 5G, I think, but that's my personal opinion, will change that, be a bit disruptive on this one and complementary actually to especially the business of what we're looking into the SD-WAN. But that's
no 100%, and that's what we are evaluating in other regions. The problem with Latin America is an infrastructure problem.
Absolutely.
We don't have infrastructure for 5G yet.
No.
You know, it's a process. It's a lot of, you know, towers and things that you gotta deploy in order to have a 5G, a reliable 5G, and it takes time.
It takes absolutely time. Yeah.
But we're definitely keeping an eye on what you're saying, and it's pretty interesting, you know. And we're kind of in a beneficial spot because we get to see what happened in other regions.
You learn from it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
okay, Dimitri.
For sure.
5G, how will it change?
5G will bring us a lot of opportunities for sure. We just can imagine how it could be, you know, like but definitely it will bring more messaging, more business for us, and we need to just to look over it and follow for sure.
Okay. Francesco, we were talking about let's say 5G, you know, but what about IoT? And let's go to AI. You know, how will that change the wholesale industry from your point of view? What will be the impact?
Security.
Okay.
Yeah, security. IoT at the end of the day, it's opening a lot of potential new threats to the networks. So devices without a human intervention are vulnerable. So, and if with 5G, the private networks increases by hundreds, operated by enterprises with no experience, it opens the possibility or are gateways for attackers to attack other networks. So I think security is key related to IoT. That is already connecting everyone, but that's my highlight here, security.
Okay. Dimitri, IoT, AI.
I agree with Francisco actually, and I would say we at LANCK, we have huge experience, you know, with AI topic. We have several PhD in statistics. They are training the AI to nail all the possible fraud stuff, and we are now implementing it for SMS, and I personally hope to see in one day AI will change the routing, you know, to without and answering travel tickets, because we for sure we have to minimize the luck and human attention, of course, because we humans, we need to have lunch, we need to sleep, but AI can do it without us, for sure.
Okay. And Jeremy, what is your take on it? That IoT, AI, M2M,
So
all the buzzwords.
yeah, I wanna bring back the project that we're working on MEF, the Integrated Trust Network, because if you look at it, you got insurance companies, car manufacturers, and telco providers coming together. You know, we're coming together to treat the data and work together for identity verification.
Give us an example.
So, so a SIM card is in a car. You got the insurance company that is insuring that car. It wants to understand the behavior of the driver, and the telco provider is the one providing.
I don't like that. Where's my data protection?
I know. So those are critical things, you know, to be evaluated. But exactly the security. But I believe it's for the good of the different players protecting the end user. You know, at the end of the day, it's about identity verification and avoiding frauds. You know, understanding who is really behind the wheel.
But it's always very difficult. I mean, to justify, let me put it, surveillance. As for security is, let's say, the next step. But the surveillance and my personal data protection, where is it? I don't want that an insurance company understands, you know, and prices, you know, my, let's say, monthly fee on my cars. Sorry, I should say car. You know, sorry, personal hobby. But to make sure that, you know, you're a reckless driver. So I have to pay a bit more, which is now post, because if I go and say, listen, I crashed my car into another car, it was my fault. Okay, so next year you have to, your fee is double or higher. I understand that you know, that's how it works. That's how their business model works.
I believe there is always freedom of choice.
Exactly.
You know? I get exactly what you're saying. I got a message from my insurance provider saying, if you download the app and we are able to track the speed that you go, the turns, how drastic you made them, we give you a discount. And I was like, what?
Not when I'm on the boat.
So no, but
neither do you.
It wasn't about, you know, they know it was about my privacy, you know, that I felt monitored, you know. So I understand what you're saying, but I believe at the end of the day, people are free to choose, you know, if you don't have anything.
They should be. Okay.
If you don't want to use that option, then don't use it.
For my mommy, it's good. I mean, that's
exactly.
Please.
So, I mean, it's interesting times. IoT is definitely, it's been around already for a while. It was hard, a difficult conversation a couple of years back, I will say 5 years ago, but it's well matured, you know, the learning curve is already there, and there are huge benefits about IoT. So artificial intelligence is another topic, you know, it's something that if we don't control it, it can be out of hand very easily. Because what you teach to it just gets better with time, you know. It's like a very dedicated and with a strict behavior, you know. It doesn't have the lack of the human, you know.
It has algorithms as DNA.
Exactly. So we use it. It's obviously for the feasibility analysis, because we need to understand factors from the network and what is around the network that is not at our disposal. So we have to use other sources of data to evaluate something that it goes beyond just looking at a building and what the network goes in. It's kind of complicated, but it's definitely useful. But there is a lot of back and forth about the future of AI, and I agree that it's something that it needs to be controlled, and some companies are not controlling that much, you know, the way the AI things. But
no, exactly, because again, we get into, let's say, the protection of not only of personal data, but the data in general, and it starts already with the data analysis and the analytics. I mean, you mentioned this previously. And this is where we start. So security, again, Francesco, to you, I know it's a big ticket item in our basis, and you're working really hard on this one, and helping actually the industry and the partners to first of all with the knowledge sharing you're doing with the whole team, and also on your service portfolio. So where do you think that we could go to bed and sleep easy?
I don't think we will be able to do something like that, right? But
because that's realistic.
Because
yeah,
correct. No, I think at the end of the day, whomever is able to help to monitor and control any potential entry doors for threats that may affect our personal life, but mainly in iBasis case, there are 4,000 attacks per day on a big mobile network. 4,000 per day, with multiple entry doors, attacking not only the network owners, but also the end users. The only way to try to be as safer as possible is to try to understand what are the problems, try to identify the entry doors, and try to put barriers to all of that. And we know that at the end of the day, that it's changing, very dynamic with like our industry. iBasis has been investing, and it's for the next 10 years, the main topic, the security, developing tools to every evolving potential threat. 5G will be an issue. We're already preparing for that, but we need to understand where is that we're standing and prepare for the better.
Mm-hmm. Huge task, right?
Yeah, yeah, difficult.
Okay. Not having, let's say, an old incumbent operator here. I mean, even if iBasis, of course, the green guys, they have the DNA of the old KPN wholesale business in there, which I know. I've been there. That's
I know,
in the industry.
I know, yes.
Oh, shh, don't tell anybody. But being, let's say, more the guys here on the panel to see what and learn from what we did, and learn what let's say the older operators did. I mean, you mentioned them. Some of them are more than 100 years old, actually. So how do you think that everybody, not only the big carriers, the big operators, but also us and the people here in the audience who represent their respective companies, how can we, let's say, prepare ourselves actually to make sure that we have to watch, let's say, for some key elements which are out there to follow? I know it sounds a little bit spooky, but what are, let's say, some key things, key elements we should look out for to make sure that we don't go, let's say, the wrong way? So and how can we prepare ourselves?
What we do, I mean, we're a member of MEF. MEF is known for the certification of the Ethernet solutions, but it's definitely more than that. You got quarterly members meetings, and it is a reunion of multiple players from the industry where we come together and we talk about those issues. We talk about standardization of the APIs. We talk about the future of the services, how we want those services to be communicated to the market, because that's another topic. Because if we are selling SD1, but you call it SD
whatever
something, and he calls it whatever else, we confuse the market. So we not only talk about the future of the solution, but we agree on the way we're going to deliver and talk about the solutions. We talk about standardizing business practices
and to come to protocols.
Yeah, all the way. And we talk about what is coming, and we prepare ourselves together. So it's a very nice community that MEF has been putting together for many years, and it's about the future. MEF is about the future. The API standards today, API is the main topic, because API is automation. Automation is bringing different systems together, and you do that through API. So if you have a standard API and you don't and you don't have to develop a new API every time you need to interconnect different systems, the fact that you have a standard API, that means that you can connect systems very quickly
and more efficient.
Exactly. So if I will recommend companies to be part of communities like MEF, you know, where you can hear, you can evaluate with other companies, you can brainstorm. And at the end of the day, we're on the same boat. It's a big boat, but we're all together. It's the industry, you know, and it's important that we collaborate on that, on that aspect, you know, and not just remain in our office, you know, thinking about, you know, because multiple brains
Thinking we know
things better, you know. Yeah, exactly. So
okay, cool. Francisco, or Dimitri, maybe you. How can operators prepare themselves to make sure that we are on the right track?
Well, for sure, the operators should have the most recent software possible. Speaking about API, likely we have it developed for many years ago, so it's easy to get access for our services for enterprises. So Jeremy, if you launch the voice service, just give me a call to Francisco. And it's really important to write, to have a dialogue, to talk about the issues we met, because they are like similar for every company in industry, and move forward together. That's it.
Okay, Francisco, your word on preparation.
Exactly the same. I think whenever we brainstorm, we share experiences, the better solutions we can bring. So whenever we can participate, talking with partners in every product within our portfolio of products, but also within the organizations that are the ones that are on top of any potential situation that is happening in the market, participating there, bringing your experiences and trying to brainstorm into solutions, that's the way.
Okay, thank you. Talking about the wholesale industry in the data and hungry age, and discussing here some challenges and the opportunities. If I may ask you, and maybe Dimitri, if I can start with you, from your point of view, can you give us, let's say, the number one opportunity for you guys, which is out there? One, the biggest opportunity.
Just one, the biggest. Well, I would want to say it's voice, but I guess it's SMS for sure. For 2-3 years or 5 even, it's SMS definitely. But then let's take a look. Probably we well, on my point of view, I still thinking SMS should evaluate in something. I don't know. It could be RCS. Would be great if Apple joined the game for sure.
They won't.
Well, let's take a look.
Not for now.
Not for now, yeah. But let's take a look. But still, in my part of industry, I still see a lot of opportunities.
Okay, cool. Jeremy, if you can pick, let's say, in this hungry age where we're in actually, and what is the number one opportunity you see?
A new customer experience. That's for sure our biggest opportunity right now. We're in the driver position. We have a fully automated business model. We're in a region where no one is embracing automation, and we're treating our clients 100% different than everyone else. You know, we're putting the customer on the driver's seat. They control all their services. They quote in a matter of minutes. They don't have to wait months for a quotation.
They can click on and click off.
They can click. They can do whatever they want. They can orchestrate with our platform. You know, and it's we work hard to be here. You know, we started working on the platform 5 years ago, but we were thinking about 5 years from now at that moment. So now we're here. You know, companies are embracing automation, but it takes time. You know, so we're going to be in this position for a little bit. We're going to enjoy it. We're going to have fun. We're going to support our clients. But it's important that we continue evolving as a company. You know, not remaining here. You know, we got to keep going and keep that gap with the competition and make a difference. Because at the end of the day, we're helping the industry evolve. You know, it's all about the customer experience.
Okay.
It's not too much about the services. It's about the client.
Okay. One from you.
Customer experience. We have our approach is a holistic approach, right? We have a 360 vision and solution to our partners. So whenever we can bring a solution within a holistic approach, not pipes, so we can enable them to focus on selling instead of managing, I think that is the biggest opportunity that we have with the cloudification and the virtualization that we are mentioning. Whenever we consider the security aspect in there, because at the end of the day, and you nailed it with your comment, it's what everybody's scared or afraid of.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, any questions from your side? Any comments, any remarks? No? Then let me ask my last question to all three of you, and Dimitri, if you would be kind to start with that, is and that is, what would be, let's say, your takeaway for the audience? What should they look out for the future? Your glass bowl.
Well,
what would it be?
We all need to take a look at AI, of course. Yeah, because this like a huge opportunity. But of course, we will see the standards, we will see the growth of it, but no need to be scared of it. We just need to train it and follow the future, actually.
Okay, thank you, Jeremy.
I will say that digital transformation doesn't need to happen all at once. You know, sometimes when we think about digital transformation, you think that you have to do everything together at once. You know,
Takes time.
It takes time,
Planning.
but it's important to start with something. You know, you can start transforming the way you support your clients, your commercial processes, you know, automating specific processes that are creating bottlenecks in your organization. So little by little, when, you know, times go, you can have maybe a complete, fully automated organization, but you started here and then you kept going up the stairs, and it's a process. It takes time, but it's important to start the process at some point and start eliminating the bottlenecks within the organization.
Okay. The famous last words,
Okay.
Francesco.
Thank you. So get better know us. We think we have solutions, but we need you guys to bring the problems for us to deliver the solutions. We think we have the technology and we're adapting ourselves towards that technology because we want to deliver the solution that you're looking for. So that's, let's say, that's my comment to you guys.
Okay, thank you so much. And with those words, we were discussing, guys, the wholesale industry in the data-hungry age, challenges and opportunities. And with this, I would like to thank, first of all, my panel, Dimitri, Jeremy, and Francesco. Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge with the audience. And as this is a recorded session, I would like to thank you for watching this webinar from the care community here at the GCCM in Miami just before the holidays. So. And of course, thank you, audience, for being with us those 2 days. And thank you for your attention. Thank you for your questions and cooperation. And we love to see you soon, and all the best for the next year. So thank you so much. Stay easy. Thank you.